Hello, Carrot's back. This is episode 19 of the Isla Paradiso bunch. We've got the same crew as usual, but this time we're going to add a new sim. This new sim will be a clone, a baby, who was made from the DNA sample that Judy got from Triton King. We open at Bella Vista Beach, where Judy and Sam are standing on the beach. Sam is surveying the beach doing his lifeguard duty. Judy's just there in case somebody collapses and needs CPR. To reveal the final hidden island, which is key to the city, Sam needs to rescue 35 drowning Sims. Now this is going to take quite a long time, so I've decided that I'll get as many as possible of my household members to achieve their lifetime wish. One lifetime wish that I have already been working on occasionally is that of Diana. She wants to be a master magician. I've sent her to the Spring Festival lot where she's performing for tips. Jeannie Jones has gone with her. Jeannie is looking for Easter eggs and picking wildflowers. There weren't any Easter eggs to be found. I think we were a bit late in the day, or maybe too late in the season, or maybe they're just not spawning. Don't know, but there weren't any there. Now back at Bella Vista Beach, Sam is still surveying and Judy's there sunning herself, relaxing on her towel. However, some towny sim has decided to collapse on the sand and then needing his CPR. Even though Sam is standing right beside him, he's got his back to the water and he is surveying the beach. Doesn't look like it to me, but that's what he's doing. So I get Judy to go over and give that sim CPR. This is to free Sam up to actually rescue any potential drowning sims. After he'd been watching and surveying the beach for quite a while, he suddenly realised that the sim was needing CPR. And so Sam turned around and ran up the beach to try to give CPR to the sim. But Judy was already well into it, so I told Sam to go back to surveying the beach, which he did. It was a fruitless attempt, because there were no towny sims who wanted to drown that day. However, we'll wait until Judy manages to revive this sim. He'll stand up in a few seconds and then we'll see Sam continuing with his beach surveying activities for a little while. Sam didn't make any progress this day. He's already at level 10 of his career. And he's got to level 10 of charisma, and he's got to level 10 of athletic skill. So all he can do now is survey the beach and hope somebody starts to drown so he can rescue them. Off he goes, running up to the other end of the beach. Stop to have a quick look to see if anyone's drowning. Judy's just standing there. Now that looks like a potential drowning victim. She's just sort of treading water. They often do that just before they drown. But no, she's getting in a boat. She's going to sail away. She's quite safe. She's just leaving the beach. There's another boat turning up. Meantime, Judy has decided that she wants to play in the water. She's going to go and have a bit of a splash. We've got some toddlers in this game now, so I think we'll go now and have a look at 45 Surf Circle, which is their home lot. That is where Jerry and Wendy live. And here we have Hayley, their mother, teaching Wendy how to talk. The little girls started their lessons on talking back in episode 18. But apparently Wendy didn't finish her lessons yet and she still hasn't learned to talk. Meanwhile, Jerry, who can walk, talk and potty by now, as well as completed the xylophone and the peg box, is now reading her toddler books. I put all 9 toddler skill books in her inventory, along with a couple of other toddler books. She will read her skill books, and as she reads each one, I will move it into Wendy's inventory so Wendy can read them. And then when Wendy reads the books, they will get moved to the inventory of Bertie, who was the eldest plant sim baby. And here are the plant sims at Plumbob Island. This is the island with the big basement garden. They're learning to walk, and then they will also learn to talk and to potty. This is a very skinny Mira teaching Bertie how to walk, and Craig is teaching Benji. Craig's all muscly. I think he gained his muscles from that swim from Plumbob Island to Diver's Den Island that we saw in the last episode. And that's how Muriel got skinny. She went in the water as a little chubby little sim, and she got out of the water at the resort all skinny. And she's still a bit skinny, but I think it won't take her long to resume her normal size and shape. She needs to keep exercising if she wants to maintain her current shape. I don't think she's very interested in much exercise. Here they are learning to talk now. They've learnt to walk. Back to Surf Circle, their home lot. And here's Judy. She's over there. It looks like we need to clean up the kitchen. Or maybe have Haley, the genie, do a little trick of making the house all clean and sparkly. Judy's still got her bedroom over there. Downstairs in the second level basement, Jerry is still reading her book, and Meryl is dancing to the stereo while Jerry reads. She's finished reading that book, and we'll pass it on to Wendy, and she can start reading her next book. So let's now go over to Wendy and get her to start reading some books instead of playing with her imaginary friend. There's Haley in the background doing a workout to the stereo. Interesting that Haley can do a workout to the stereo while Meryl dances to it at the same time. At least all four of these sims are doing something. They're being active. And occasionally we'll see Mia Azul's ghost pop in and waft around this level. Judy's had a brainwave by the look of it. She's set off at a run. Wonder where she's off to. Running down to where they get on their boat to go somewhere. She's going to catch a boat, water taxi, little yellow water taxi, and off she goes. She's in a hurry. Just go through the channel and do a slight right turn, and she heads straight for Plumbob Island. You can actually see Plumbob Island from their home lot at Surf Circle. Sometimes you can even make out Surf Circle from Plumbob Island, but it sort of blends in with the background a bit. Okay, well now she's arrived at Plumbob Island. She'll go into that little shack and head downstairs. See what she wants to do when she gets down there. This is the second top basement. It's slightly larger than the top basement, and it's also larger than the second bottom basement, but it's a lot smaller than the very bottom basement. I'm going to try to get her to clone from a sample. She's only got options of insect, fish, or mineral samples there. Not too sure why, because she's got DNA samples in her inventory. The only thing I can think of is that the household is very overstuffed. There's a lot more than 8 sims in the household already, and they may not allow her to clone from a DNA sample. So she's going to clone a mineral sample. The only mineral sample she's got is plutonium. So let's see how she goes cloning a piece of plutonium. Now Judy is very experienced at cloning things. She's a level 10 in the science skill, and she's cloned many things before, but they can still just evaporate. If she fails, the sample just goes, which is a bit scary sometimes. I've got a few problems here today. I don't know if you've noticed, but my voice keeps going really croaky. And the other thing I've got is those birds are screeching outside. I think I need a soundproof room to do this. They've stopped at the moment, but they've been going on crazily for ages now. She's got her plutonium. That was a successful experiment. Now, I've had a look in her inventory and I've found that she does have DNA samples in there. And when I got to click on the sample, it allowed her to clone from a sample. So she chose Triton King's sample and she's going to try to clone Triton King. It's interesting that the option was not available on the science station, but it was available on the actual DNA sample in her inventory. Just goes to show you need to try a few different ways of doing something. Sometimes you can find a way to do something that won't work the way you usually would expect to do it. I guess she warmed up on her piece of plutonium. She's cloned something successfully. Today, let's hope she clones something else successfully. It takes a while to clone something. We should see her results shortly. Somebody just started up a leaf blower across the road. Had to stop for a minute or two. They've stopped now. Now, this is something I haven't seen before, and I couldn't decide what to do. I think it's come up because we're at Plumbob Island, which is not their home. And so probably technically they seem to be not at home. But there was no way I was going to trust a babysitter to come and grab the baby and run off with it. So I said, stay here, which is what she was going to do anyway. At the moment he doesn't have a name, he's just a sample with a number. And there he is. Triton King's clone. Judy's very excited. She just couldn't believe her eyes when she saw him, but she quickly came to herself and picked him up. We're going to call him Terry. I need to give him a name starting with T. That's why I chose Terry, because he's a clone of Triton King, and he's currently called Terry King, but I will add him to Judy's family tree eventually, and then I'll give him a last name of Butler King, a hyphenated name, because Judy's last name is Butler. And we want to remember that he's actually from Triton King as well. I had a look and found that his traits are flirty and virtuoso. It's funny how these cloned Sims get some odd traits given to them. I find quite a few of my clones come up as flirty. And not only is he flirty, but when I looked at his lifetime rewards, he's already got one, and it's the attractive lifetime reward. And I also found that he already knows Triton King. And he's never actually met Triton King, although he is a clone of Triton King. He's never met him, but Triton King is in his relationships panel as somebody he knows. So we now need to go and make a nursery for him. Just added a couple of walls in there against, there's plenty of space over in this actual lot, so we can easily add new rooms and give him a cot. I should have painted the walls aqua because his favourite colour is aqua. Maybe I'll do that later as well. We'll give him some aqua coloured wallpaper or something. But we'll give him a very basic nursery at this point, with just a cot and a change table and a potty. Add a few swings, one for each of the little ones. We've got 2 toddlers and a baby at the moment. Although the baby will age up in 9 days' time. Won't spend too much time on this build by mode. Just put a few things out. Might put a rocking chair over there near the nursery of the baby, just in case somebody wants to rock him at some point. I guess you saw inside the nursery for the two little plant sims too while we were in that buy mode. So Muriel's gone in there to pick up Benji. And it's time to potty train these sims. I would have thought that I should have got her to do Bertie first because Bertie is the eldest, but looks like I decided on Benji for some reason. Maybe I just clicked on him and didn't even think what I was doing at the time. But there's no potty over there, so we need to go back into buy mode, but I won't show you that. I'll just pop into buy mode and get them a potty. There's this Judy putting Triton King into a blue swing. Let him see what's going on around him. Since he's got a default custom contact skin, he's not wrapped up like the little burrito babies, so he sort of sits up in the air on the swing. So there's a good look inside their room. Most of the things in the room are actually EA thing objects, but the custom content is mostly from around the Sims 3 site. That's ATS3. Two of my favourite sites are ATS3 and Luna. They're my two, although I do get lots of CC from lots of other people as well. So there's the potty. She's going over there with Benji to potty train him. This episode's a lot about toddlers and babies. Sam wasn't doing much at the beach. Those paintings there, if you have a look at those tarot card ones, they're by Gaia Hypothesis. And it's two tarot card things she's done. We're back at Surf Circle, where the little girls are still reading their toddler books. These toddlers are going to be so highly skilled by the time they get to be children, because they're going to use the toddler books. They've already done their xylophone and peg box. The toddler books. See, now if she's finished that book, it's going across to Bertie. And she'll start reading the next book. When they read all their books, then they're going to go into the playpen, where they will play with the abacus and the mirror. Now, they've already learnt to talk, but when they play with the mirror, they learn charisma skill, but they need a lot of friends to get really high in the charisma skill. Anyway, here we are back there with the little plant sim boys. They're learning their potty training. Looks like Benji's finished his. It's time to teach Bertie. So now they will be able to walk, talk and potty. I don't think they've completed their xylophone and peg box yet. But yes, both sets of toddlers will get into the playpen and the baby walker. They learn, I think it's logic and handiness skills from the walker and the abacus. They learn charisma from the mirror. So we're going to work on all of those things as well eventually, but not in this episode. We've got too many more basic skills to get through first. The toddlers in this household over at Plumbob Island have an advantage over the girls who are at the home lot, because over at the home lot the girls have no problems reading to themselves on the floor, so the adult sims don't read to them. But over on this lot there's some sort of a bug in action and they can't actually read for themselves on the floor, so they have to have one of the grown-up sims to read to them. So the little plant sims, they get friends or make friends with the other sims in the household who read to them, whereas the two little girls don't, because they don't get read to. They did make some friends while they were being taught to walk, talk and potty, but they could have made much stronger friendships if they had been read to as well. Looks like Judy's going to put the baby into his cot. He's just got to do a lot of sleeping now. I also had some trouble getting him an imaginary friend. I ended up cloning one of the imaginary friend of one of the little plant sim boys. Actually, between the three of them, the two plant sims and the mermaid baby, there was only one imaginary friend given by the game, and I've cloned it twice now. I used debug enabler from NRAS to make a copy of it, and then to change its pattern and change its name and change its owner. So they've got three distinct imaginary friends. I like all my sims to have an imaginary friend. I wonder what Muriel thinks she's doing over there. Looks like she's thinking she's surveying the beach or something. She's 2 levels underground. No beach to look at from that angle. She's got to empty that potty and then teach the other sim something. Now, I've sent Genie Jones over to use the all-in-one bathroom. And she's going to come back and start reading books to Bertie. Meanwhile, let's go and have a look at Diver's Den Resort. That's where Josephine's gone. She's gone over there to use the sauna. She's just got out of the sauna and she's got the strangest look on her face. I mean, she is hot-headed and that sort of thing, but she looks quite angry to me. I thought she would have looked relaxed. Anyway, she's decided that she wants to eat something. Just before this resort got upgraded to 5 stars, I added an extra buffet table with desserts on it. And you just had a look at that one. And she's gone over to the dessert table, grabbed herself a plate of fruit parfait. I think that might be her favourite dish, because when she put it down on the table, she clapped her hands before she sat down to eat it. This is a way of giving you a bit of a look inside the resort. I'll keep doing this throughout the various episodes so you can just see little bits of what's going on inside. There's a kitchen just to the right of where we are looking at the moment. Well, it's behind us now with the industrial oven. And there's menus on some of the tables around here. Other tables don't have menus. I didn't make you sit and watch her eat all of that fruit parfait. Let's go back to the home base there, where we've got Diana and Sam doing the school cheer. I don't know why, they just did that autonomously. There's Stella Dog, and there's a gnome, Bingleboo, whatever his name is, gnome, doing a strange-looking handstand. And it's time for Sam to head off to work. There's the gardener's truck and the ice cream truck. Sam's going to work now at the beach. I don't know which beach he ends up at. I wasn't able to work it out, so we just see him heading off. Diana's changed into her outfit. She must have come home. I suppose it's a few days ago that I sent her to do the performing at the park for tips. I think I'll need to add some Showtime lots to this world so she can actually go and do gigs. There is a Showtime stage in the world already because I placed my Carnival on the Water lot in the world, and there's a Showtime stage in it. Okay, Sam's off to work, and let's go check out Plumbob Island. There's somebody learning the xylophone that must be Benji learning the xylophone while Bertie gets read to. Josephine's come home from the not the casino, it's from the resort. She's gone to lay down on one of the beds and reading herself a book. And this is actually coming very close to the end of the video. Just thought I'd give you a little look at a close-up of her face while she's happily reading a book. So there she is. Must be interesting book. She's totally absorbed. She doesn't even know we're watching her. So that's the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Bye bye for now. Carrots out.